So welcome to another edition of Rhone Infobites. This week I'm joined by Andy. Andy, do you want to give a short introduction of yourself?
Yeah, hi Claire. My name is Andy Allan. I'm the project manager for R&D.
Perfect. So hopefully you've listened to our podcast before, and you know I like to start with a short icebreaker just to have a funny story or a good memory of food, or perhaps not such a good memory.
Well, I feel it falls into the latter category, Claire. I'm afraid I've had more than my fair share of experience of food poisoning, which working for a food safety testing company is quite ironic.
Yep.
Probably one of the worst experiences was when I honeymooned in Cuba with my wife Tracy in 2006, and after staying in Havana and behaving myself and not eating the salads or the ice or ice in my drinks and things like that, we went to a 5-star hotel. We were told international conditions apply. Eat what you want, drink what you want, and within about 3 days, a bout of shellfish toxin. So it was a spectacular diet as well as honeymoon. I came back about a stone later.
I was going to say it's not quite the honeymoon I bet you had planned for that. No. So
it's lying on a stone floor and thinking this is it in Cuba. You know, it's not a good situation to
Have
be
you eaten shellfish since?
Yeah, occasionally, but I'm always very careful now. So learn from it.
So definitely learning from that. Yeah. So we've previously spoke about some of our company values in previous podcasts, but today I'd like to talk a little bit more about these today, in particular focusing on the teamwork, personal development and accountability values that we've got. Obviously, these values recognise the importance of collaboration within the company, allowing people to sort of learn and develop within the roles and also to help make their best use of their skills and their talents. Yeah. Can you maybe give me some examples of how the various departments collaborate within the company?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, it's the importance of partnerships and initiatives across the company. There's more than 15 groups which deal with that, and that's including technical issues, training, equipment, continuous improvement, and the role the company plays in supporting charities and the local community, environmental responsibilities, health and safety, and mental health, and the STEM, and the all-important social committees.
Yeah.
So these groups have been very successful and beneficial to staff and the company. For example, our recent carbon neutral status was a direct result of hard work done by the Environmental Responsibilities Group. So it's all very relevant and very good for the company. Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned the social groups as well. You know, we've had Crazy Golf. I think we were in a team together at that.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We were robbed.
We were indeed. We shouldn't have won that, definitely. I think the recent one was axe throwing as well. I didn't go to that one. Were you there?
No, I missed that. But my colleague Phyllis, who works across from me, she was very good at throwing axes. So I have to be very careful what I say to her.
Sitting across from her, you might need to be worried, I think.
Dangerous.
Yeah. We also have good partnership with Strathclyde University, and we've had several students working with us over the last few years. Can you give an example of some of the projects that they've worked on?
Well, Strathclyde University, they've always given us excellent students, and we've very much enjoyed having them with us in R&D. Our most recent student was working with one of our new products that's coming up, which is the ImmunoPrep Online vitamin B. Sorry.
Yep, the vitamin B12.
Vitamin B12 product. So she did very well out of that, and she started off coming in due to COVID, not much experience in the lab. And then by the end of it, she was working on her own, manufacturing resin covalent bonded to antibody, using some very expensive equipment, completely flying solo, and she was effectively a full-time employee for us. So it's a very successful partnership with Strathclyde University, and we look forward to continuing. Yeah,
you play quite an important role in working with the students and helping them with their projects, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. So as project manager, I like to keep it on top of what's going on in terms of how the projects are progressing, just giving some advice over timekeeping and trying to help them with the prioritisation of what they need to do. So I collaborate very closely with the lead scientists on the projects to do that.
Yeah, I think it's not only just the students you work with, it's the whole R&D team, in fact, as well, with all the projects.
Yeah, so myself and our manager, Helen, work very closely to keep an overarching view on how things are going in the lab. So We have projects that are at various stages throughout. We have ones that are coming to the end and some are just starting.
Yep.
So they all have their very unique needs and sometimes their quirks as well.
Yep.
So we're able to work through those.
Yeah, I think the success of any project is good collaboration and being able to manage that through, as you say, the various stages, because they are all at different stages.
That's right. And we're just going back to the groups, Claire, they had the STEM group, and I believe there's a good partnership with Baclair Academy.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working with them, I think it's since 2019, and we support them in lots of different ways. We sponsor the science fairs that they've been involved in. We, again, have work experience students that have worked with us on the odd occasion. Just last week we were actually supporting them with some mock interviews to help with their sort of more senior students. So we're involved with them a lot, and also in terms of the carbon neutrality, any old equipment or labware that we don't want, we actually donate to the academy and should they need them. So hopefully recycling some of the old equipment and everything, which is always good for the environment. So I think another good example of where collaboration is beneficial is developing in-house knowledge as well. And we tend to sort of be part of working groups like from AOAC, for example. And as mentioned, we're a member of a number of these groups. Can you tell me a bit more about the groups that we're involved in?
Yeah, I mean, R-Biopharm has enjoyed a long partnership with AOAC going back over decades now. And we've been involved in many groups. To name but a few, we've got SPIFAN, the Folates Group, and CASP, as well as the Performance Tested Methods programme that we're doing with our 11 Plus product at the moment. It's a validation which is very exciting, and the data is fabulous for that, so we're very, very happy with that. And most recently, the Novel Foods Advisory Panel is something that we've been very keen to join, and that's looking at the future of food, if you like, novel food sources of protein. And that can be anything from insects to cultured products and some plant-based meat alternatives as well. So that's, we're very much keen to get involved with the new and exciting areas of the food industry.
It's funny you should mention the edible insects. There's actually another one of the episodes from this series where we talked to one of the technical services scientists about edible insects.
Wow. Okay.
So that's quite interesting. You mentioned CASP. What does that stand for? What's that working group looking at?
So they're looking at cannabis and associated products. So there's been a recent industry boom in the US and Canada because of the legalisation of cannabis in some states and through Canada. And as part of that, the product quality assurance is coming through now, and testing for things like mycotoxins is now more important than ever for these kind of products. And we have a very, very strong portfolio at R-Biopharm, and we are part of that group and helping to guide method development specifically for the benefits of our company products. Yep.
And SPIFAN group, I'm right in saying that's where they've been looking at a lot of vitamin methods in that group.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a concentration of vitamin, the B12 and biotin in particular. These are AOAC official methods, which our products are very proud to have those products on that.
Yep.
And that's just symbolic, really, of the strong relationship that we've garnered with AOAC over the years.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, what are the sort of main aims and objectives from these working groups at AOAC?
Well, I think it's to get involved from the beginning. So if you look at the Novel Foods Advisory Panel, for example, the method development, there's a big gap when they're trying to establish methods for specific matrices. A lot of times people can use the nearest thing to it, which is not the same as the actual matrix. So that's an example where a company such as R-Biopharm can get involved at the early stages and advise on how best to do that. And the more established groups, again, we're looking for official methods which people can reliably use to determine the content of vitamins in products with a bit of sort of reliability, that what they're doing is they're going to get the best possible outcome from that. Yeah.
So again, as you say, collaboration, sharing knowledge, talking about where the problems are lying, what they want to resolve, and really how it's going to resolve, how they work together, and
that's right.
Obviously a collaborative trial at the end to demonstrate the results.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, well, thanks very much for speaking to us today, Andy. And I think that concludes another episode of the RHôNE InfoBites series.
Pleasure, Claire. Thanks very much for having me.
Perfect. Thank you.